What's up, everybody? Sky Spider here. So I wanted to put a little thing at the beginning of this video, just as a little explanation and disclaimer. So this is a video of our mature male Theraphosa stirmi getting caught in the screen mesh lid of his Exoterra enclosure, and a couple of the things I did to try and get him down. It's really important, if you're going to use screen lids, that your tarantula be able to reach the ground from the lid itself. That way, if they get stuck, they can usually get themselves out on their own. There's also the drop risk from it. It's just generally a bad thing. You really should replace those lids. The reason why I usually leave them, and I'm able to free them so easily. Back in the late 90s, when I got my first tarantula, there was no good information out there. There's nothing on the internet. There barely was an internet at that point. And the information I got was put it in a 10-gallon, keep it on sand. Terrible, terrible advice. Sponge in the water dish, all that kind of nonsense. And he would climb up to the top, walk upside down on the screen mesh lid. He's only got half an inch of sand at the bottom to cushion a fall, and he'd get his toes stuck. And I'd have to free usually just one up at the top, and he would fall down to the sand and amazingly survived it. So yeah, I've gone through this a lot when I was younger and didn't know any better. What ended up working is I've got a long pair of tweezers. I went in there, lifted up the cork bark underneath him so he was supporting his weight, and then used the tweezers to gently pull the toenails out of the screen. And this male had 3 legs stuck, which was really bad. Thankfully, all his legs are fine. He's just a little exhausted, so I imagine he's going to be just relaxing for a couple days. Definitely dodged a bullet with that one, but I wanted to put the video out there so other people know it's a risk and what it looks like and why it's dangerous. Just remember, no screen lids. Replace them with drilled plexiglass. If you can't, keep that substrate high enough. The enclosure this was in, the substrate was high enough, but since Theraphosa are so moisture dependent, over the year or so he's been in there with all the misting and all the water going to the substrate, it packed down a little bit. So he was actually about a ½ inch to an inch away from touching the bottom when he was hanging. So yeah, yet another thing to keep in mind when setting them up in enclosures like this. But anyway, I've rambled enough. Here's the video. Yeah, just take care of your spiders, guys. Don't let this happen to you. This is why screens are not the best idea for spiders. Hopefully you can reach that. I'll give him some leverage to get himself down because I cannot get his toes out of there myself. Oh boy, it's not working. Get him down using some very long tweezers to pull his toenails out of the screen. So he's going to be okay. He's probably just exhausted. I'm going to leave this cork bark in for now because it'd be too much effort to get it away from him. So yeah, if you have Exoterra, screens are kind of dangerous for spiders. If you can't remove it, at least give them substrate they can easily reach from the floor. I thought this was good enough because in the corners you can reach, but I guess we were off by a fraction of an inch there.